What if the reason you are not building wealth is not because you do not make enough money, but because of the exact psychological trap you fall into the second that direct deposit hits your account? The majority of people are playing a game designed to keep them completely broke. But today, we are breaking the cycle. I am Caesar, and I am on a mission to take you to financial freedom by exposing the psychology of money. If you enjoy simple, straight-to-the-point finance breakdowns like this, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with a friend, and drop a comment down below with your biggest financial goal for this year. It helps push the mission forward. Let us talk about what actually happens the moment you get paid. For most people, a very dangerous mental switch flips the exact second that notification pops up on their phone. I call this the majority mindset. From the time we are incredibly young, society aggressively conditions us to believe that money exists simply to be spent. You work terribly hard for 2 entire weeks. You endure the constant stress of your demanding job, the long commute, the annoying boss, and when Friday finally rolls around, you feel you desperately deserve a reward. So, what do? You instantly upgrade your perfectly fine phone, you buy designer shoes you do not need, or you finance a luxury vehicle you absolutely cannot afford. The majority mindset successfully tricks you into trading your vital future security for meaningless instant validation. You are literally taking the exact fuel you need to build true wealth and setting it on fire just to look rich to people you do not even genuinely like. Society tells you that looking successful is the exact same thing as actually being successful. So, you swipe the credit card, you take on the bad debt, and you buy the massive liabilities. You buy the depreciating assets that plummet in value the very second you drive them off the lot or take them out of the box. You do all of this to maintain an exhausting illusion of wealth. And here is the darkest, most terrifying part of this psychological trap. On the outside, you look incredibly successful to everyone watching your life on social media. But on the inside, behind closed doors, you are quietly drowning in deep financial anxiety. You are living paycheck to paycheck, completely paralyzed by the fear that one minor medical emergency, one car breakdown, or one missed paycheck will lead to total financial disaster. You are trapped in an endless hamster wheel where your hard-earned income goes straight to massive multinational corporations. You are making everyone else incredibly rich except yourself. You are working yourself to the bone just to maintain a lifestyle that is actively destroying your future. This is the exact trap, but it is a trap you can absolutely escape forever today. Let us talk about exactly why you click checkout online or swipe that expensive credit card at the mall. I can promise you it is not because you genuinely need another pair of expensive sneakers or a completely brand new car. It is the status game. Every single time you make a flashy purchase, brain releases a massive hit of dopamine. It feels absolutely incredible for about 5 minutes. But society has successfully hardwired you to believe a very dangerous lie. You have been conditioned to believe that your personal value is directly tied to your bank account, or more accurately, what you can physically display to the outside world. So, you end up buying shiny, depreciating things you do not even truly care about, using money you do not actually have, just to impress people you do not even genuinely like. You are literally funding a fake lifestyle just to win a ridiculous game that has absolutely no prize at the extremely bitter end. You are trading your ultimate financial freedom for a fleeting moment of hollow social validation. Now, you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, if I just made $10,000 more a single year, all my current money problems would completely vanish overnight. That is the greatest financial illusion ever sold to you by the modern system. A significantly higher salary does not magically equal more wealth. It usually just equals much more expensive problems. This is a very dangerous psychological trap, officially known as lifestyle creep. The exact moment your monthly income goes up, your personal definition of basic necessities magically goes up right along with it. Suddenly, your perfectly fine apartment feels far too small. Your completely reliable car feels entirely too old and embarrassing. You start eating out at much nicer restaurants every single week and buying premium brands instead of the generic ones you used to buy. You get a massive raise at work, but your bank account miraculously stays exactly the same. Or even worse, your consumer debt actually increases because you feel incredibly justified in borrowing more money against your new, higher salary. You are running faster and faster on the exact same treadmill, but you are not moving a single inch toward actual financial freedom. The more money you make, the more money you blindly spend to maintain the exhausting illusion of being incredibly rich. True, generational wealth is absolutely not determined by the sheer amount of money you make every single month at your day job. It is ultimately determined by the exact percentage of that hard-earned money you actually manage to keep and successfully multiply over a long period of consistent time. If you cannot aggressively manage $5,000 a month, you will absolutely fail to manage $50,000 a month when you get it. The psychology completely remains the exact same no matter what tax bracket you happen to finally land in, which is exactly why you must change today. So, how do we actually break out of this vicious cycle? It requires a radical shift in your entire financial psychology. This is exactly where you must adopt the minority mindset. Think about what happens right now. The absolute first transaction that happens on payday is you handing your hard-earned money over to a massive corporation. You pay your landlord, you pay the credit card company, you pay the utility giants, and you pay for your monthly streaming services. You are literally paying everyone else in the world before you even think about paying yourself. That stops today. From this exact moment forward, the very first person who gets a cut of your paycheck must be your future self. If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever happens to be left over, you will always find an excuse to spend it. The majority mindset pays corporations first and saves last. The minority mindset pays themselves first and forces their lifestyle to fit whatever is left. To execute this shift, you need a bulletproof system. You absolutely cannot rely on motivation, because motivation is incredibly fleeting. You need a simple, actionable split that forces you to build wealth without even thinking about it. I highly recommend the 75-15-10 rule. Here is exactly how this powerful system works. You are going to live off exactly 75% of your total income. This major portion covers your rent, all your groceries, your transportation, and your basic bills. Next, 15% goes directly into your investments. This is your ultimate wealth-building engine. This is the money that goes to work for you 24 hours a day, buying assets that appreciate in value over time. Finally, the remaining 10% goes straight into your emergency savings until you have a solid 6 months of living expenses completely locked away. This specific split creates an unshakable financial foundation that protects you from absolute ruin, while simultaneously building your long-term wealth. Now, here is the ultimate psychological hack to make this entirely foolproof. You must introduce extreme psychological friction to your spending habits by making your wealth creation completely automatic. If you rely on your own willpower to manually transfer that money at the end of the month, you will fail. Your brain will always trick you into buying something you do not actually need. You have to outsmart your own brain by completely removing the temptation altogether. Set up automatic transfers the exact same day your paycheck hits your account. Before you even wake up, that 15% is already invested and that 10% is already saved. The money is gone before you can even see it, touch it, or spend it. You cannot miss money that you never had the chance to hold in your hands. This incredibly simple system actually works perfectly every single time you get paid. Let us talk about the phrase, treat yourself. When the majority of people hear this, they immediately think about blowing a massive portion of their paycheck on a brand new liability. They think treating themselves means buying a depreciating asset like a luxury handbag, the newest smartphone, or a ridiculously overpriced vacation. You work incredibly hard, so society tells you that you deserve a reward. But let me ask you a serious question. Is it really a reward if it keeps you trapped in the exact same stressful job for the next 40 years? The minority mindset completely redefines what it actually means to treat yourself. Instead of taking your hard-earned cash and trading it for something that loses value the second you swipe your card, you start buying assets. You start buying pieces of ownership in massive companies through stocks, you buy cash-flowing real estate, or you invest directly into your own education and business. Treating yourself is no longer about a temporary dopamine hit that fades in 5 minutes. It is about buying your own ultimate freedom. It is about purchasing the ultimate luxury, which is complete control over your own time. When you buy an asset, you are putting your money to work for you. You are creating a tiny, tireless employee that never sleeps, never takes a vacation, and is constantly generating more money for you 24 hours a day. This brings us to the ultimate financial secret, which is the wealth flywheel. The majority of people use their active labor to directly fund their lifestyle. If they want a nicer car, they have to work significantly more hours or take on a massive amount of high-interest consumer debt. But the minority mindset flips this equation upside down. You do not use your primary income to buy your toys. Instead, you use your primary income to buy income-producing assets. Then, you use the cash flow generated by those assets to fund your lifestyle. Let that sink in for a moment. You want that luxury car? Fine. But you do not finance it with your salary. You build a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks or rental properties, and you let the passive income from those investments make the monthly car payment for you. If the investment stops paying, you sell the car. But the principal asset remains entirely untouched and continues to grow. This is the exact mechanism that the wealthy use to get richer while looking rich, while the middle class goes broke trying to look wealthy. You are building a powerful machine. At first, pushing the flywheel is incredibly difficult. It takes massive discipline to invest that money when everyone else is partying. But as your assets compound, the wheel starts spinning completely on its own. Your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money. Eventually, the machine generates enough cash to cover your entire lifestyle, and you never have to work for a paycheck again. Let us take a step back and look at the absolute hardest part of this entire process. It is not the math. The math is incredibly simple. The hardest part is mastering your own profound impatience. We live in an incredibly fast-paced world where everything is available on demand. You can order food and have it at your door in 30 minutes. You can stream any movie instantly. Because of this, your brain is entirely wired for immediate results. When you start executing this strategy, when you actually do this every time you get paid, you are going to look at your investment account after a few months and feel deeply disappointed. You will see a few $100s and think that this whole financial psychology concept is a complete waste of time. Your friends will be driving brand new cars, wearing expensive clothes, and posting pictures from their luxurious vacations. You will feel like you are falling behind. This is the exact moment where the majority of people give up. They cash out their investments, buy a liability, and fall right back into the exact same trap we talked about earlier. True financial psychology requires a radical commitment to delayed gratification. You are planting seeds today for a tree that you will not sit under for years. You have to train your brain to find deep satisfaction in the disciplined process of building wealth, rather than the fleeting excitement of spending money. Every single time you get paid, you are buying another tiny piece of your future freedom. At first, it feels like shoveling sand with a teaspoon. But then, the mathematical magic of compound interest finally begins to take over. Your investments start generating their own dividends. Then, those dividends buy even more investments, which generate even more dividends. You are slowly building a massive snowball of wealth, and as it rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and faster, entirely on its own. If you stay relentlessly consistent, you will eventually reach the ultimate financial milestone. This is called the tipping point. The tipping point is the exact moment when the passive income generated by your assets completely overtakes your monthly living expenses. At this exact moment, working officially becomes an option, not an obligation. You are no longer trading your most valuable asset, which is your time, just to survive. You have successfully bought your life back. You have broken the cycle. Escaping the trap takes discipline, but more importantly, it takes a shift in your mindset. You now have the blueprint. If you found value in this breakdown and want to keep leveling up your financial psychology, make sure to like this video, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, keep building.